Welcome everyone to the Silk Road Chai Shop. It's Friday evening and tonight we're going to be talking about cooperative leadership within community and relationships in life. And I'm Ophelia, and I hope to share some ideas with you that perhaps you haven't thought of on a conscious level, but it's really underneath, already there. What is cooperative leadership? And as it sounds, it's about us all being leaders together within the framework of our life and within the framework of everyday living. We are leaders and we are members of a community, whether it be Mount Shasta, whether it be the family, whether it be a community organization, a sports team. We are all part of that group, and we all have something to offer that group as an individual within the group. The old paradigm of being a team player in the old manner of thinking is the leader is per se the dictator, the boss that says this is the way we're going to do it no matter what. And that model is so far out of sync with who we are and always have been as a humanity and as a people, but we've been programmed to follow that vision. So now it's a different vision, and cooperative leadership is how we are all part and parcel of that moment. So I just like to read a little piece that from my book, Keep It Simple Sojourner, Following the Path of Soul Chronicity. And this piece is on the art of listening. And leadership is about listening. Getting lost in everyday life and work we can forget. To listen to the stories, to hear the messages, to love the self enough to be fulfilled, to act through the heart, to open the doors of compassion, to recognize God in all people and nature, and to know I am in gratitude of life now and in all the nows to come. For now is all there is at this moment. Yesterday was a now gone by, and tomorrow is a now yet to come. That space in between is a void of possibilities. So who am I, and why do I have any, per se, why do I think I have any knowledge of sharing what cooperative leadership is? My life experiences have gone through the gamut of being executive director of a federally funded not-for-profit mentoring program under the umbrella of the Corporation for National Service, under the federal government. I was a director for 4 years, and then I connected with, and in that role I worked with seniors between 60 and 93. Then from there I switched, and I worked for AmeriCorps under the same umbrella of the Corporation for National Service. And these were with 18 to 24-year-olds working in learning community involvement. And those two sandwiched places really were my first experience in federal government controlled budgets and parameters that one perceived are not being able to be worked around and being used. Everybody thinks, you never have enough with the federal government. And thankfully I learned a completely different paradigm through that. Getting involved in community organizations in small communities like Mount Shasta when I was married to a minister, and that was sort of expected, but then I got involved in all different roles. And then learning and seeing how people get stuck in the old way of thinking, and that money and their budget is the vision and the only way to make something happen. And then it's also the biggest excuse of how and why not to have something happen. And then in private business, I had travel companies and did a lot of consultations and all sorts of things like that. So I learned some things about myself in those roles. And then the spiritual journey that I've been on for sort of ever has worked in those roles to solidify and bring into consciousness the things that I didn't know I was learning, but bringing them back into this time frame now. And the format, the template that is really already there, but we don't really follow it because it's unconscious. I learned and was very, very powerfully given to a group of 5 of us during morning sadhana, which is at 3:45 in the morning for nearly a year. I met with a small group of people and we chanted and did Kundalini yoga for a couple of hours, and within this one particular experience, about 2/3 of the way through this year, we had this group come together, and the first day it was like, well, what are we going to do today? This 11-day segment of morning sadhana. And we hadn't been given something definite. And so the 5 of us, 5 strong, independent, leader individuals, had to come together and surrender their power and their ego of, I want my decision to be the one chosen. And we were shown this amazing template within those really early dark mornings. And there's one particular hour and a half period that it just evolved. And it was so amazing, and it was at the end of it, and we came out, and then my friend and I, we went and had coffee, and we're sitting there going, wow, what did we just discover? And so it was all of this coming together in that moment, and that's the part that I enjoy sharing, because we already know it.